ADHD is a cognitive condition that is usually diagnosed during childhood. People with ADHD experience and process information differently than people who are neurotypical. If you have the condition, you may feel that forgetfulness tends to occur more often, and you may find tasks that require using short-term memory more challenging. ADHD can also impact the way that your long-term memory functions. Researchers are still working to understand the exact impact of ADHD on memory for children and adults. ADHD can cause adults and children to have difficulty focusing. People with ADHD may appear to be inattentive at times and forget important things more often. This is defined as inattentive type ADHD. They may also interrupt or express disruptive behavior more often. This is known as hyperactive impulsive type ADHD. The most common version of ADHD is combination of these symptoms, known as combined hyperactive impulsive inattentive type. ADHD is not the same as autism spectrum disorder. This is a separate condition according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It's possible to have both conditions, but each has a distinct set of diagnostic criteria. Associated behaviors may also manifest themselves differently even among individuals with one or both conditions. Each of these types of ADHD results from a biological cause related to brain activity. The frontal lobe of the brain, which steers your impulse control, attentiveness, and memory, seems to develop more slowly if you have ADHD. Working memory is the small amount of information that your mind holds as you are working to complete a task. Think of it as the part of your brain that holds a phone number while you're dialing it. Working memory holds a little bit of data at a time while you work on completing something, copying the data from one place and passing it in another place before forgetting whatever it was. One 2020 study showed that ADHD impacts working memory in the majority of children who have it. A 2013 research review supported the idea that this impact continues into adulthood. Working memory is strongly associated with intelligence and learning ability, so people with ADHD may be unfairly assessed in terms of what they are capable of learning. Without a strong working memory, it becomes important to develop coping skills and alternative learning strategies that rely less on that function of the brain. ADHD may also impact the way that children's brains perceive time itself. Time perception is linked to working memory. This may also explain part of why people with ADHD experience more challenges getting to places on time. A small 2007 study looked at time perception in 40 children with ADHD and 40 children without ADHD. Children with ADHD had more difficulty perceiving the difference between a short, medium, and long duration of time. What's less understood is ADHD's effect on long-term memory and memory loss. A 2013 research review looked at medical literature that studied adults with ADHD. The authors concluded that ADHD tends to limit long-term memory abilities more often, but that research review also suggested that this limitation results from learning disabilities caused by ADHD, not necessarily from the impact of ADHD on your brain. The research review suggested that kids with ADHD tend to experience challenges developing the same long-term memory skills as kids without ADHD, which can then carry over into adulthood without additional coping or compensation mechanisms. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, share, like, and comment.